I'm Johnny Millennium, and this is Film Fury, and it is a cold day in Vancouver. I am in this very damp forest. It was the best place I could film. Victor Lucas is going to be so bummed out. He's traveling right now, and let me say, he really wanted to see Black Panther more than anybody, and I know he's going to see it when he comes back. He'll probably review it on EPN.TV on his own YouTube channel, but I was lucky enough to go last night and see a screening of it. And it stars Chadwick Boseman, Michael B. Jordan, Lupita Nyong'o, Martin Freeman, Forrest Whitaker, and Andy Serkis. That was a surprise one of the movie for me because I didn't know Andy Serkis was going to be in this film, especially playing himself. Not quite literally himself, but himself as a human being instead of a CG character. He's not Snoke here. He's not Gollum here. He's a really good bad guy. And the first thing I want to get into here is that I, walking into this film, had no backstory on Black Panther. I knew he was in all the comic books. I never read the specific comic book when I was younger. So in going into this film, I was kind of curious about this character. I had no idea. I want to say, first of all, this is a really good film. This is a really good superhero film. I got to learn all about this character's backstory and about this incredible hidden world called Wakanda. And that, here's the thing. I'm not going to give any spoilers for this review. I'm going to talk about it just in feelings and how it really was, but no spoilers. But Wakanda was such a cool bit of the story. It added so much more to the mythos in the Marvel universe. I had no idea this even existed. I even said to my friend who came with me, I said, oh my God, I said, this makes the Marvel Universe even bigger. It's just adding to that. And I'll be honest here, I'm not a huge fan of superhero movies. I must admit in 2017, there was quite a few good ones. Obviously, Spider-Man Homecoming, Logan was really fantastic. Going into this one, I'm like, okay, this is just another superhero movie. It is. It is at the core of it. But what I like about this one more than some of the more stereotypical ones is that they're not fighting aliens in this movie, and I'm so thrilled about that. There's no big bad guy and thousands of minions to fight. There is kind of a, an internal struggle that's going on with this family. That is what I really did enjoy. I think I like superhero movies that tackle not just, fighting bad guys, but have a little bit more going on in the core and emotions. And that's what this movie did. It brought me into the core and emotions of it all. Chadwick Boseman was fantastic as the Black Panther. Here's something I want to say too, is that in a lot of superhero movies, there's so much humor, especially in a movie like Thor, Ragnarok, a movie I really enjoyed, but a lot of people complain lately there's too much humor in superhero movies. This movie has the perfect balance. There's some good jokes that land incredibly well, but it's not overly done. This is more of a serious story. And I gotta say, the acting in this is phenomenal. Like, I really was blown away. From beginning to end, I was really in the story all the way through. I was never kind of looking at my watch going, oh man, another superhero movie, when is this over? Let's fight the bad guys, I need some more action. The internal struggle with the characters was really real, and I really enjoyed it quite a bit. Michael B. Jordan did a great job playing the other bad guy beside Andy Serkis. He delivered a really, how can I say, he's such an asshole, arrogant, superly trained killer, and his character's really good in such a bad way. He comes along and you're like, oh my God, I hate this guy, and that's what they want you to do. And you hate Andy Serkis as well, but Andy Serkis is really weird in this because he's a bad guy, but he's humorous. He's like evil humor. He's more like the Joker than anything else. He's always laughing at all the evil things he does. And that also brings us to Forrest Whitaker is in this movie. I was really happy to see him in this. I really like Forrest Whitaker. I thought in Rogue One he was, using this voice way too much, but they made him do that. I was like, can he just talk normally? But anyways, that's a small gripe. We also had Martin Freeman in this, and I'm like, why is the Hobbit in this movie? And what's funny about this is he's the comedy relief in the entire movie, and it's really well played. Even I was just like, kind of laughing at his character, but his character has some really good arcs and has some really heroic style moments. Lupita Nyong'o is in this, and I gotta say, wow. Her character is so compelling and so fantastic. I mean, and you know, also with a level, as I said, there's not humor, there's not like super gags in this, but just one or two looks from her, you know, delivered so much of a punchline. It was not what she was saying, it's almost at times what she wasn't saying as a character, and I thought that was really portrayed fantastically well. And I have to get into the technology of this film. I can't say too much, but some of the technology within Wakanda is so phenomenal and so interesting, and me being a big sci-fi fan, those are some of the bits in the movie I was loving the most. I was like, oh man, this city is incredible. I just kind of love this hidden world within our world. I thought it worked really, really well. You know, to be honest with you, I'm really happy they made this film. I'm really happy they made Captain America. I'm really happy they've made all of these backstory films, especially going into Infinity War. Because now when I see characters like, you know, Captain America or, you know, Black Panther, I have more of a connection to the characters and to the world. And when I see them in such, you know, this big new movie coming out, it's going to hold a lot more weight than I think in anything we've ever seen, honestly, in cinematic history. How many times can you think of a cinematic universe like Marvel's created? I can't think of anything like this. And I must admit, there's been times when I haven't been interested in this whole ride, you know, with all these different superheroes and all this. But in seeing Black Panther today, it kind of cemented the whole universe to me coming into one. And I thought, wow, they've really done something special here. And I'm saying it every episode. I'm not a big superhero guy, but I'm becoming a big superhero guy. I used to be a big superhero guy in the 80s. I loved reading all the comic books, then I kind of fell out of it for many years, and I must admit in the last 10 years I've gotten a lot more into it, and I absolutely recommend Black Panther, especially part of the entire universe. It fits in so well, and it adds so much, and it's a fun story. It's really, it's got some very serious edges to it, and I really liked it for that, and I definitely recommend this movie. It's not going to change the world. It's another superhero movie, but it is a good superhero movie, and I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. Vic is really going to want to see this one.